So we worked with you guys near the start of 2021, around like the February, March time frame. We had been living in a townhouse for like a year and a half, and so we were trying to figure out what to do next. And then ultimately decided to try and test the buyer's market a little bit and went into it completely blind, but ended up finding your guys' team. I work at Colorado Springs Utilities, and so kind of as part of the team that I work on, we help hire people into the organization. And so, anytime we have someone relocating to Colorado Springs from a different area, we actually refer them to your team. And so that's kind of how I came to know you guys and your team through my boss, and he recommended you guys. So.
And we didn't really end up looking anywhere else or any recommendations because you guys had so many good recommendations.
Yeah. I think the most stressful part was probably finding out about kind of like the appraisal gap piece, because we didn't really know much about that going into it. And so I think definitely the housing market and just kind of the uncertainties with basically knowing nothing about the home buying process. Like, we went in completely blind, because up to the point that we came across your team and started working with you guys, we had rented our entire lives, and we also didn't really know very many people who had gone through the home buying process, so we didn't really have, any insight into that or how that worked. And so you guys were just like incredibly informative and supportive around kind of how that process works.
Yeah, you guys helped a lot.
I would say supportive, just because, again, we knew absolutely nothing about kind of what the housing market looked like at the time that we started the process, and we knew nothing about the home buying process in general. And so even like from our first meeting with Carmen, we kind of came in not really even knowing like what questions to ask. And so
she was so happy and welcoming. She hugged us and I was like, I'm gonna like this team. And then we met you, and I remember her saying like, you and Emerson would be a good fit as a team. And so she was not wrong. Although I think we would have done well with her too, because she has such an extroverted personality as well.
Yeah.
So it was just a good fit all around. It was nice though, because I remember you would always say like, it's okay, it's a lot of information, I totally get it. And you could just tell that you knew that was coming, like you're used to it, and so you're just kind of on beat with it. And
I think to that point too, like I think you guys and your team also do a really good job of kind of tailoring your approach based on each person's needs, like whether it's, the amenities they're looking for in the house, but then also just kind of, the parameters of the housing market and all those different variables.
I would probably tell people the story of how we were starting to get frustrated at the end, and you were so supportive for us. Like, that sounds like a very personal story, but I think it's important because it shows how you guys are as a team, and you were always like checking in with us and making sure we're good. Even Carmen was, even though she wasn't, like if you were out of town or something, she would swoop in and show us a house. Like, you were always on beat. Honestly, I would just say, like, in a quick, like, elevator speech, like, you guys are caring, you're attentive, and you're hardworking, persistent. I think all of the great things that you should have when you're trying to buy your first home or any home.